welcome to episode 30 of Ace 30 Investigations 2! Last time, we basically learned that Manfred was using cruel and unusual punishments with interrogation, just forcing Jeff Masters to keep going, investigating interrogation with just no rest, no food, no real food, just torture. Just the Von Karma methods. Let's start investigating. It seems these musical instruments were used in piece of cake. Of course, these probably aren't made of candy. Detective Bad looks somewhat disappointed. Okay, good. I thought I misread Bad's line. Detective Bad looks somewhat disappointed. Okay. Harpins and maracas are lined up here. They're so exquisitely crafted, I can't tell from looking if they are sweets or the real thing. I like to touch them, but that would go against the rules of preserving the crime scene. Keep your hands off them. I already checked. They're real instruments. But if you could tell by looking, how did you know they were real without touching them? Indeed, I didn't touch them. Not with my hands, that is. Surely not. No, I'm overthinking it. We must investigate the all-holy Santa. Santa! It's a figure of Santa Claus. I suppose it's also made of candy. Behind that door is Master's room. The Santa is probably another one of his works. Santa, huh? I wonder what I should get my son for Christmas this year. I think he said he wanted an attorney's badge. I wonder if I could ask Mr. Masters to make him one out of candy. This leads to Gustavia's room. There's a reindeer by the door. According to the nameplate, it's entirely made of candy. Such splendid antlers. Very manly. But a male reindeer's antlers fall off during the winter. So this must be a female. You lawyers, always giving out useless information. What does that have to do with being a lawyer? What an amazing trophy. It's probably Masters, world's greatest pastry chef, huh? It's also made out of candy. It doesn't seem like it would last very long. Honor and glory don't last long. I think that's the lesson here. I don't think it's quite as deep as that. Many of the trophies Masters received are placed here. Besides dessert contests, there were also awards for his charity work. An evident display of both his skill and character. This trophy is to recognize the TV program Piece of Cake for giving children hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams? Now I want to see it too. And then Manfred sees that trophy. Hopes and dreams? We gotta take this show down! This leads to Delicia's room. The snowman here is rather eye-catching. It's made from powdered sugar. Oh, powdered sugar, huh? He's staring at it quite intently. I hope he's not thinking of taking a taste. No, Bad, he wants the snowman. He's just gonna grab the snowman and walk out with it. No one's gonna stop him. It's a Christmas tree made out of table sugar. Thanks to these decorations, this place is on red alert. If even a single ant made it inside, it would be terrible. Indeed, if ants got here, it would be disastrous. These angel statues look like they're eating chocolate fondue. It would seem these angel statues are also Pierre Hoquet's work. As expected, they're very well made. Looks like they're the real thing. So you've seen a real angel before, Detective Bad? Defense attorneys. Always the first to find fault with everything. Perhaps that was wrong of me. Okay. Miss Hall, I've come to investigate today.
Monsieur Edgeworth, I apologize for my disgraceful behavior earlier.
Kate, she looks a bit down. What Master said earlier must have been a real shock to her.
I prepared the photo I took of the disaster during the semifinals. Please take a look.
Wow, Delacey's kid is so cute!
Monsieur Masters also praised the design of Daisy's work very highly. Monsieur Gustavia and Dova's works gained high praise for both taste and design, but Monsieur Masters said he felt like he was eating the exact same thing twice.
What?
But it seems that desserts had completely different tastes for the finals.
Was there anything else that was completely different between the finals and semifinals?
It's nothing major, but there was something. During the contest, Monsieur Gustavius always came to see him, but there was no sign of him at the finals.
His son came to visit. I wonder if there was any significance behind that. Would you mind leaving this photo with me?
Certainly, anything to aid in the investigation. And here's the recipe book that the contestants that contains the special drugs for curing test disorders.
This cover looks familiar. Wasn't this framed in Master's room?
Since it's also the prize for the contest, we put it out on display.
And so the contest prize, Angel Recipe, wasn't just a dessert for desserts.
That's right, we've informed the participants, but it seems you all don't know yet.
So the participants knew about the true contents of the Angel's Recipe. Damn lawnmowers! Ms. Hall, please tell me all you know about the Angel's Recipe.
Why do you carry that badge around with you?
As long as I have this with me, people can tell that I am a defensor at first glance.
How convenient! If only pastry chefs had such a badge, or better yet, make murderers wear a badge.
For murderers, there's a thing called handcuffs. And for Manfred, it was a bullet in his shoulder. So the Angel's Recipe contains the formula for the drug.
Yes, it's a recipe book for new drugs that haven't been released to the public yet. It's sold to a pharmaceutical company. It would sure fetch a substantial price.
Why is something like that a prize in the contest?
Monsieur Masters is the only heir to the chairman of the Master Group.
Master Group? That name sounds familiar.
They're a pharmaceutical company who deal in a wide range of products.
Ah, they've become big news recently with the release of Cold Killer X. And then basically 5 years, and then a good chunk of years later, they receive a blow to their reputation because of Dahlia. I have to use Cold Killer products, but I never once seen you with a cold. Yes, freaking Ray Shields is a druggie. Ray, are you on the crack? Are you a drug addict? Do I have to worry about you stealing my valuables? I would like to hear more about the Master Group. Did Mr. Masters not want to follow in his parents' footsteps?
Monsieur Master wanted to bring joy to people with his dessert. His parents also wanted him to become a great pastry chef and supported him. When his parents died, the recipe book was left to him as his inheritance.
Why would he give away a memento of his parents as a prize in the contest?
There were always people who were after it, something which troubled Monsieur Master. But just giving away the memento would have been disrespectful to his parents, so he decided to pass it over to someone he acknowledged.
And the members of the Master Group approved of that? Information about new drugs being passed on to outsiders?
Of course they objected. That's why Delicia participated in the contest. On the order of the Master Group, she was requested to win the championship.
You knew Delicia's true identity from the start?
Yes, in order for her to win, I told her Monsieur Master's taste and preferences.
Why did you help her?
I helped her in order to protect Monsieur Masters and the Master Group. If the drug recipes were given to another company, he would be reprimanded by the board. I wanted to return the recipes to the company in a way that Monsieur Masters would accept.
So with Dunamis Hall's help, then Delicia was able to reach the finals. Speaking of which, Mr. Dover was a pastry chef either. He sure did well to make it to the finals considering he's just a sculptor.
Yes, for him to be able to make such fine desserts despite being a sculptor.
From the sherbet sculpture he made for the finals, it's clear to see that he has great talent, but could he really have made that by himself?
That's all I know. Is there anything else I can do to help?
To say, Mr. Masters, she's trying to help as much as she can. May we perhaps have some more of the tea from yesterday, please, Miss Hall? I want tea, damn it! I'm sure that would help us get on the investigation. Yeah, I'd like some of Kate's tea, too. I had a comb for your hair. Please let me smell your hair.
Right, understood. I'll be back in a minute.
Kate looked a bit better now. Raymond, could we talk for a bit? Damn it, Ray, why do you have your own theme? You've been my assistant for like 5 minutes. And yet you already have a theme song. You think you're big crap, Ray? What, you've been huffing the glue again? Damn it, Mr. Edgeworth! I will not stop huffing the glue! Damn it, Ray! It's making you listen to pop jazz! Nothing wrong with pop jazz! You wear a goddamn fedora. You look like a cuck with that fedora on. Mr. Edgeworth, why are you being mean with it? I'm sorry, I don't have tea! Sure thing, Mr. Edgeworth, fire away! Raymond, have you noticed anything about the case? A lot, actually! Mr. Dover's body was found in Mr. Mouse's room. And we found the murder weapon, the rock salt lamp, in Mr. Delicious' county council. Miss Delicious's desserts aren't so dreamy anymore, huh? Yes, you're right. And Kate looks sad too! I asked you to note, not to dote. Damn it, you're not going, I'm not letting you lose blood to your brain by your other head getting all the attention. Huh, I said that wrong? Yes, you felt love. You are working for me, you will not feel affection for women during on the job. Even if you do, it will be in a platonic matter and purely for the sake of reproduction. I'm getting a little worried about your future. Start using that wrong head, you're not going to be using logic. This case is your first investigation, huh, Raymond? Yes! And I've been taking memos on everything that's happening. It's really an inspiration to be investigating with you, Mr. Edgeworth. You aiming to be an attorney? Yeah, defense attorneys are heroes of justice who help those in need. The more I saw how amazing Mr. Edgeworth was in court, I decided to be his apprentice. But detectives also defend people. Plus, we have a manlier badge. It's a badge that women actually respect. But I already have my time to become a defense attorney. You're going to be a detective. Is that so? Well, good luck on that then. Perhaps Detective Bad wants an apprentice too. That's the attorney's badge I've been yearning for! I'll get one too, you'll see! The scale engraved on this badge represents truth and fairness. You shouldn't just aim at getting one of these badges. You should aim at becoming an attorney that wouldn't put this badge to shame. Yes! I too need to set an example as a venerable attorney for him to follow. Okay. Where does this elevator go? To the second floor, Master and Hall's quarters. Apparently, on their days off, Master makes candy and holds tea parties upstairs. But if it's a nice day, they probably have it in the gardens or something. That sounds nice. I'd like an invite when the case is over. Would you like to come too, Detective Bad? You're wasting your breath. I don't fraternize with attorneys. Okay. Okay, we did that right. The investigation is underway! Only authorized personnel beyond this point. Aren't I authorized personnel? Sorry! Authorized personnel are prohibited too! I guess that means no one can enter. Are these Von Karma's orders? I can't stand that guy. Okay! Okay. Come on. Come on. Okay. Okay. Is this an important piece of evidence? Yeah, it's been very helpful. Could I ask how you found it helpful? Sorry, I haven't digested concepts yet. It would seem he hasn't matured at all since our conversation earlier. Really, what am I missing? Oh great, I'm having a thing. Okay. Ah. I haven't talked to this guy yet. What are you investigating exactly? Sir! I'm testing the water in the van for foreign material, sir! Have you found anything yet? It seems there's both chocolate and sherbet mixing with the fountain water. It matches the chocolate from Jeff Masters' room. And the sherbet that melted in Isaac Dover's room. They all share the same composition. The fountain water circulates through the streams that flow from each of the 4 rooms. Perhaps the melted sherbet flowed into the fountain. Also, someone's blood was detected as well. What are you saying? How could there have been blood in the fountain? Detective Bad, please think back to our investigation of the crime scene. Detective Bad, please look at the crime scene carefully once more. The blood stain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared. I definitely didn't get any reports about the blood stain being cleaned up. The blood disappeared from the crime scene. Also, part of the treasure chest is missing too. Perhaps the blood in this fountain belongs to this person. The victim. Let's run a comparison with the blood on the murder weapon. Shining effect. I don't know. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Dover's. I wonder why the criminal spilled the victim's blood into the fountain. Complete. Yay. We've gathered information about all the contestants. And we still haven't heard Gustavia's side of the story. That reminds me. Why did you enter Mr. Dover's room, Mr. Gustavia? Ah, well, that was because... Silence, Inglamus! You are not to give that tiny nice information! I will read my Christmas bells! Remember, it takes like some jingle bells that just... You will be silent, my Christmas! What exactly was he doing in Mr. Dover's room? And moreover, something is odd about his semi-final entry. A pastry chef bad at design and a sculpture skill only at designing. It would have been extremely difficult for either of them to win the contest alone. Could it be that Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's connection is detected bad? We have reason to suspect the actions of Dan Gustavia. Yeah. It is imperative that we find a way to contact him at once. Oh, this conversation is most interesting. How long were you staring down the program? Long enough to wait for my perfect entrance. However, I cannot allow you to speak with Mr. Gustavia. Von Karma. I have already conducted my interrogation of him. It is not necessary for him to speak any further, especially to a mere attorney. But I will answer your questions in that first place. It seems Von Karma intends to prevent me from meeting Gustavia in person. I understand. In that case, I have one thing to ask you. Yes? Why are you such an asshole? I would like to know the relationship between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Gustavia and Dover's relationship? It's obvious the only relationship they had was that they happened to participate in the same contest. That's it? There's nothing more to say. What? I always don't understand anything from so little. If we want Von Karma to divulge the truth, we have no choice but to present evidence. It's all too obvious that he's hiding something. Are you sure Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover aren't linked in some way? Do not interrupt me with your baseless allegations. If we were in court right now, I'd have you held in contempt. I don't think Von Karma has that kind of authority. You don't know the power of the Von Karma. Von Karma is famous for having even the judges wrapped around his finger. Whoa! That's insane! Seems like it won't be easy to go against him in court. Prosecutor Von Karma, please continue your argument. It may have been a coincidence that the two participated in the same contest. However, you can say for sure that they weren't connected. Defense attorney, how many times must I tell you? If you have no evidence to challenge my argument, be silent! I'll be silent for now, then. So I need to show evidence of a link between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Your mouth may be silent, but your eyes tell me everything. What is it you want to say? Does he want me to speak or be silent? It would seem Mr. Von Karma does not want to know Mr. Gustavia and Dover's real connection. Maybe the connection between those two puts the prosecution at a disadvantage. Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover should have had something in common. I should enlighten Von Karma this fact.
Objection.
There we go. Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like you to look at these desserts. These desserts were made for the contest semifinals. Don't you think these two have a particularly impressive design?
Just what are you getting at?
These two desserts were made by Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. I wouldn't exactly call Mr. Gustavia's design skills praiseworthy, and yet for the semifinals he was able to produce something comparable to Mr. Dover's. Furthermore, these two desserts have the exact same flavor.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying it's possible they collaborate with each other on their entries. Prosecutor Von Karma, please take a closer look at their desserts. At first glance, they may look completely different, but even though the designs are different, it's clear that they were made from the same material.
Is that so?
The same flavor and composition. It's possible to dismiss their similarity as coincidence. The very existence of these two desserts points to a link between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover.
Since you already know this much, I'll tell you the truth.
Did Von Karma know about their collaboration?
However, what I am about to say is not going to help your case at all. If you want to know about Gustavia Dover's connection so badly, I'll tell you. Last night, when I interrogated Gustavia, who told me about this connection to Dover. Until the days before the finals, they worked on the desserts together.
You knew about their cooperation all this time, didn't you? Why would you conceal the truth?
Because the truth would have hurt my case. I would appreciate it if you would insulting my reputation. I do that on my own, thank you very much. Until I explain my points in court, I avoid giving away unnecessary details. Yeah, I was merely saving good time.
How can you act like this and keep the truth from us? This concealment of the truth is something I cannot ignore. It seems you knew about the real connection all along. Why did you hide it from us?
I would never divulge information to a mere insect such as yourself so easily. I am not a fool like that, detective, after all!
You want me to kick your ass, Von Karma? I was just doing things my way. And also, Von Karma, I wouldn't suggest going near your car anytime soon.
It's because of you that fired me that I gained this information in the first place!
Last night. That was after Mr. Dover's sculpture that melted, right?
Yes, afterwards I went to interrogate Gustavia personally.
Interrogate by Von Karma? Oh, sounds scary! Knowing Mr. Gustavia, I feel like he probably tried to meditate through the interrogation.
The moment he closed his eyes, I snapped my fingers like so to show him that no one remained silent in front of me.
And did that have any effect?
Because of that, I was able to get a perfect confession about his connection with Dover.
Why do you think Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover collaborated?
Why? Because Gustavia had more designs and Dover was a novice at baking. Without the help of each other, they would never have made it through a single round.
If so, what was their mutual goal? Why cooperate until the finals?
The finals will be fought on our own merits, Gustavia said, and he ended their collaboration. Gustavia's goal was to attain the title of world's greatest pastry chef. It seems his prize, a pastry chef, went out in the end.
Entering the finals would certainly have been hollow had he cheated. He believes that their cooperation only went as far as the semifinals. But what if it really continued through the finals? Prosecutor Von Karma, could you explain their cooperation in a little more detail?
Very well.
Yeah, Maverick actually has a good line in one of these cross-examinations. They cooperated the day before, but not the day itself? That seems highly unnatural, don't you think?
What I am saying is only the truth. How unnatural it is matters not.
But weren't you unnaturally concealing the very same truth just a minute ago? There must have been some reason he hid the fact from us. Mr. Master said Mr. Dover was the favorite to win the finals. Which means he must have been still cooperating with Mr. Gustavia at the time. Yes, that is what I believe. I must have evidence that proves that they still cooperate during the finals. Okay. Okay. Sorry, just looking through. In through and making sure that it's good. Yeah. You say that Mr. Gusavia and Mr. Dover did not collaborate during the finals? We'll answer that question next episode. Anyways, I really appreciate that you took on to watch this episode. Your review. If you go back to the next one. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do as they want. And with that, I'll see you later. Bye.